Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Noble, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my pure Infernoble Knight deck profile. So I put a poll up on my Instagram, which if you are not following me on Instagram, what are you doing, man? Go follow me, NobleChaos72, and on Twitter at NobleChaos1. So I put up a poll up on Instagram to see out of the three, the meta relevant, the pure, or the Infernoble/Noble deck profile, which would everyone like to see first, and meta definitely won. But then the next one was pure, which I thought was interesting. So this is the second of three Infernoble Knight deck profiles we're going to be doing, and the pure one is actually pretty fun to make. I try to make it as budget as I could with still being pretty competitive. So there's definitely more things you could run into it. I didn't want to make this a crazy expensive deck as well, because just some pure things are sometimes less expensive. So, but you could definitely there's room for flexibility if you want to do that. So without further ado, let's get into this one. If you're watching this and you haven't already done so, go ahead and subscribe. This video is going to turn off in 5 seconds if you're not subscribed. It knows I put an algorithm in it. So next up, to start off with, we're running 3 Infernoble Knight Renowned. So this one's really crucial to the deck. What it does is if you control a fire warrior monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If it's summoned this way, treat this card as a tuner, which is really nice. If this, you can only special summon Infernoble Knight Renowned once per turn this way. If this card is special summoned, you can target one of your fire warrior monsters or one of your equipped spells that is banished in your graveyard, except another copy of this card, and add it to your hand. You only use this effect once per turn. This is a really great card for the deck. It really helps out a lot. Because this is pure, I'm running 3 Infernoble Knight Roland. Now this one is really cool. You could probably bump this down if you wanted to do so, but I think this is a good card because what it does is it has a quick effect. You can target one face-up monster you control and equip this card from your hand to that target as an equipped spell that gives that card 500 attack. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add one fire warrior monster, except another copy of this card, or an equipped spell from your deck to your hand. You only gain this effect once per turn. This is really cool. Just being able, as a quick effect, straight up equip it to your monster, it gains attack, and if it's in the graveyard you get a search. That's really cool. I really do like this card. Next up, I'm playing double Infernoble Knight Oliver. Now this one's, you could play this one at 3 if you wanted to do so. I'm running it at 2. While this card is an equipped card, your opponent cannot target the equipped monster with card effects, which is really cool. You can only use each of the following effects of Infernoble Knight Oliver once per turn. You can send one fire warrior monster or one equipped spell from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard. You can special summon this card as a level 1 monster, and if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one warrior monster you control and equip this card to the monster that you control, which is also cool. But the fact you can come on the field as a level 1 tuner is really nice. Next up, I am playing triple Infernoble Knight Ogier. I believe is how you say it, or Ogier. While this card is an equipped card, the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can only use each of the following effects of Infernoble Knight Ogier once per turn. I'm probably going to say it different every time. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send one Noble Arms card or one Fire Warrior monster, except another copy of this card from your deck to the graveyard. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can target a warrior monster you control and equip this card to that monster you control, which is also really cool. I'm running a Magius. What Magius does is while this card is an equipped card, the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by battle. You can only use each of the following effects of Infernoble Knight Magius once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can shuffle into the deck 3 of your other Fire Warrior monsters and or Noble Arms cards that are banished or in your graveyard and draw a card. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target a warrior monster you control and equip it. So that is cool. Just being able to shuffle some things and then draw, do a little deeper into your deck. That is nice. Especially some resources are banished, being able to just put that back into your deck, that is nice as well. Astolfo is really awesome. I'm running one of this one because you can banish a fire warrior monster from your hand or graveyard, and special summon this card from your hand. Then you can make this card's level become the level of the banished monster. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon this banished card from during your second standby phase after this card's activation. Then you can special summon one of your fire warrior monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. But you can only use each of the each of these effects once per duel, so that is very important to note. I have seen multiple people, probably just forget, probably wasn't malicious, they just forgot about it and try to do it again, and that can cause some issues. So do keep in mind it's once per duel, but it's very powerful as well. I am still running triple Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. Even in pure build, like this is just a great card. You can banish an equip spell from your field or graveyard and special summon this card from your hand, so super easy to count to the field. At the start of the damage step of this card attacks, you can equip one face-up monster on the field to this card, max 1. As an equipped card that gives this card 500 attack when a monster effect is activated. Quick effect, you can send one face-up equipped spell you control to the graveyard and negate the activation if you do destroy it. And you only use this effect once per turn. So this card is awesome. I know this is a little bit more expensive card, so about $22 or something like that. If you want to run less of this, you could do that, but I do recommend you playing, if you possible, at least 2 of this in the pure build, because it does help out quite a bit. Still playing triple Sublimation Knight. This card is really great. This card is normal or special summon. You can equip a Fire Warrior or a Gemini monster from your hand or deck to this card, and as an equip spell that gives this card 500 attack. If this card's owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card while equipped with a Gemini monster, you can special summon as many of those Gemini monsters from your graveyard as possible. As effect monsters of the game, their effects, you can use this effect of Sublimation Knight once per turn. Also, I'm still running 2 Fire Flint Lady. If you control a warrior monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is freaking the easiest summoning condition in the world in this deck. You can send this card from the field to the graveyard and special summon one level 4 or lower warrior monster from your hand, and then if you do that, your opponent cannot target card effects. Still playing a Squeak Knight. Just these are like the really constants, like even in the pure build, like I think this is really optimal. And then also triple Ash, which just happens to go with the fire as well. So that's actually it for the monsters. Let's go into the spells. So to kick off the spells, running triple Call by the Grave, just absolutely extremely important because you search a ton just like you do pretty much in any meta deck. So Call by the Grave is just really mandatory in my opinion. Also running triple Heritage of the Chalice, because this card is absolutely amazing. You add a Noble Knight monster or Noble Arms card from your deck or graveyard to your hand. The fact that it's or the graveyard just takes this card another level. This is so cool. If your Noble Knight monster equipped with a Noble Arms equipped spell is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card back to your hand. You can use one effect per turn and only once that turn. Just the fact that it come back from your graveyard is so good. I'm also running 2 Glory of the Noble Knights in this pure build. This card is really cool. It's a quick play spell, and what it does is you target a Noble Knight monster you control and equip it with an equip spell from your deck that can equip to that target. You can only activate 1 Glory of the Noble Knights per turn. Also running a Rhoda because duh. Still, of course, triple Durandal. This card is amazing. What it does is, while this card is equipped to a monster, you can add a 1 level 5 or lower Fire Warrior monster from your deck to your hand, and then you destroy this card. If this card is sent to the graveyard because the equipped monster was sent to the graveyard, you can target a level 5 or lower Fire Warrior monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, except Warrior monsters, and then it's once per turn as well. I'm running 2 Joyous. I like this one a lot. I'm actually a really big fan of this card. What it does is while this card is equipped to a monster, you can target a Fire Warrior monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand, then you destroy this card. If this card is sent to the graveyard because the equipped monster was sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a Fire Warrior monster from your hand. And then you also only gain this effect once per turn. So I really like that. Being able to special summon from the hand is cool. Also running 2 Hate Clea, however the heck you say this one. What this one does is while this card is equipped to a monster, you can target a face-up monster you control. This turn, you cannot declare attacks except with that monster, and then it gains the ability that it can make 2 attacks during each battle phase. Then you destroy this card. If this card is sent to the graveyard because the equipped card was sent to the graveyard, because the equipped monster is in the graveyard, you can target a face-up monster on the field and then destroy it, so it does have a really great floating effect as well. I am still playing the Divine Sword Phoenix Blade as well. I would like pure builds, definitely still be playing this. Only 1 trap, the Horn of Oliphant. I'm going to run this as a 1-of. You activate one of these effects, you can banish an equip spell you control or in your graveyard. You can destroy a card on the field, or you can destroy 1 Roland monster you control, then special summon in defense position up to 3 Fire Warrior monsters from your deck whose total levels equal 9, but their effects are negated. Also, until the end of your next turn after this effect resolves, you can't special summon monsters except Warrior monsters. I would probably only use this card like once. That's all. I'm only running it as a 1-of. So that's it for the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck of this pure Infernoble Knight build. So to start off with, I'm running 2 Emperor Charles this time. This card's really awesome. What it does is, if this if an equipped card becomes equipped to a monster on the field, even during the damage step, you can destroy a card on the field. During the end phase, you can equip one equipped spell from your hand or graveyard to this card, or graveyard, which is really awesome. Then you can equip one Fire Warrior monster from your deck to this card as an equipped spell that gives it 500. You can only use each effect of Infernoble Knight, Emperor Charles once per turn. I'm also running 2 Captain Roland now. What Captain Roland does is if this card is Synchro Summon, you can activate this effect. During the end phase of this turn, you send an equipped spell from your deck to your graveyard, then you add a warrior monster from your deck to your hand, which is really cool. During the main phase, if this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can target one warrior monster you control. Equip this card to that monster you control as an equipped spell that gives it 500. You only use this effect once per turn, which is also, hey, guess what? Guess what? That's really cool. So I'm also playing still one Ignoble Knight of High, Laundress, however you say it, a Martial Metal Marcher, a Herald of the Arclight, Trishula, and Crimson Blader. I don't know, man. If I had Borreload Savage, I might would run it in the pure build. I'm still not sure. Still don't have it, so not an option. This is optional if you would run like Coral Dragon or that Steel Horse that I can never say. If you still want to do those things, that's fine. This is just like a pure guide, I guess. So for the links, I actually bumped up Azal to 3 in this pure build because I use it a ton. Just absolutely great searcher of a card. Also running a Hakafibrak still. I know, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Link Ross. Oh, please don't unsubscribe. I'm so sorry. And then also a Midnight Crusader Abramax. I picked Abramax for like the Link 4 boss because, like I said, I want to keep as budget as I could. If you want to run Appaloosa, especially now that she's down to like $30, you could do that. Or if you want to run Access Code, which is unfortunately not down to $30, you could do that. But Abramax has pretty decently easy summoning conditions, and he's a great boss monster, and he's pretty cheap. If you're than Boral Sword or something like that, go for it. But yeah, guys, that is it for this pure Infernoble Knight deck profile. I do hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to make, honestly. I'm a huge fan of the Noble Knights, so this, like, I have just had a blast making these. I love that artwork on Emperor Charles. But yeah, so next up is the Infernoble Knight / Noble Knight deck profile, which that might be the most, like, I'm really excited about that one. So be on the lookout for that. If you watched this video and liked it, give it a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. I'm still a very small YouTuber, and you giving this video a thumbs up allows my videos to circulate around YouTube a little bit more, which I'm greatly appreciative. Go ahead and hit the bell so you become part of the notification team so you don't miss any more deck profiles like you have been already. Shame on you. I'm just kidding. I love you. And also go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. I'd also greatly appreciate that. Thanks for watching. And as always, guys, I'll see you in the next video.